Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a mind-bending mashup of history and modern might. Picture this, the legendary 300 Spartans, the epitome of ancient martial prowess, standing firm at the hot gates. But instead of Xerxes' Persian army, they're facing a single, modern main battle tank. Who would win? Let's break it down. First, let's set the scene. It's 480 BC at Thermopylae, a narrow coastal pass. King Leonidas and his 300 elite warriors are masters of this terrain. They're armed with bronze shields, long spears, and short swords. They are the best trained, most disciplined soldiers of their time, a true human wall of muscle and steel. Their strategy relies on the phalanx formation in a tight space, neutralizing the enemy's numerical advantage. Now let's introduce our time-traveling contender, a modern main battle tank, let's say something like an M1 Abrams. This isn't just a vehicle. It's a 70-ton mobile fortress of composite armor, armed with a 120mm smoothbore cannon and multiple machine guns. It can hit a target over 2 miles away with pinpoint accuracy while moving at 40 miles per hour. It's a technological beast forged in the fires of 21st century warfare. The first encounter would be utterly baffling for the Spartans. The sheer noise of the tank's turbine engine would be terrifying, unlike anything they've ever heard. It would sound like a monstrous, roaring beast from the depths of Tartarus. They would likely hold their formation, shields locked, spears forward, ready to face this strange new threat. They've faced war elephants. How much worse could this be? Well, a lot worse. The tank commander, peering through thermal sights, would see 300 heat signatures packed tightly together. The Spartans wouldn't even know they were being watched. The first shot from the main cannon would be decisive. The Spartans' primary defense is their aspis shield, a heavy wooden shield faced with bronze. It's great against arrows and spears, but against a high-explosive anti-tank round? The shell travels at nearly a mile per second. The Spartans wouldn't even see it coming. Upon impact, the explosion would be catastrophic. It wouldn't just break a shield, it would obliterate a huge section of their phalanx. The shockwave alone would throw men dozens of feet, and the shrapnel would tear through bronze and flesh alike. The psychological impact would be immense. These are men who have trained their whole lives to face a knowable enemy, hand to hand. This is something else entirely. It's like a god hurling lightning from a distance. But let's assume some Spartans survive the initial barrage. They are, after all, legendary for their courage. They wouldn't break and run. They would try to adapt. Their first instinct would be to close the distance. Their spears are their best weapon. But how do you attack a 70-ton steel giant? Their bronze-tipped spears would just scratch the paint. Their swords would be completely useless against the composite armor. Maybe they'd try to jam the tracks. It's a classic anti-tank tactic from early wars. They could try to use rocks or even their own bodies, but the sheer power and weight of the tank would crush anything in its path. The tracks are designed to cross trenches and obstacles. A few bodies or rocks wouldn't stop it. Then there are the secondary weapons. The tank is equipped with coaxial and roof-mounted machine guns. A single burst from a .50 caliber machine gun could cut through multiple Spartans, shields, and all. It fires hundreds of rounds per minute. The Spartans' disciplined formation, their greatest strength, now becomes their greatest weakness, making them a dense, easy target. The tank could simply drive back and forth, using its machine guns to systematically dismantle the Spartan lines from a safe distance. So, is there any hope for our heroes? The Spartans were brilliant tacticians. They chose the battlefield at Thermopylae for a reason. Could the terrain offer any advantage? The hot gates were extremely narrow. Perhaps they could lure the tank into a section so tight that it gets stuck. If they could immobilize it, they might have a chance. An immobile tank is a vulnerable pillbox, but even then, what could they do? They can't breach the armor. They have no explosives. Their only hope would be a battle of attrition. The tank has a limited supply of fuel and ammunition. An Abrams carries about 40 main gun rounds and thousands of machine gun rounds. That's more than enough to deal with 300 men. The fuel is a bigger issue. The turbine engine is thirsty. Eventually, it would run out. If the Spartans could somehow survive the initial onslaught, avoid the guns, and just wait, the tank would eventually become a very heavy, very hot metal box. The crew inside can't stay there forever. They need food, water, and rest. Eventually, they would have to open the hatch. And that's the Spartans' only razor-thin window of opportunity. The moment a hatch opens, the crew is vulnerable. The Spartans, with their incredible discipline and patience, might just be able to wait it out. They could surround the silent metal beast, day and night, waiting for that one moment. If they could get to the crew, the fight would be over. However, getting to that point seems almost impossible. The tank crew isn't going to just sit there and wait to run out of fuel. They understand their own logistical needs. They would likely use their overwhelming firepower to end the fight quickly and efficiently. They could use their superior speed to retreat to a safe distance to conserve fuel, picking off the Spartans from afar. Let's consider the psychological factor again. After witnessing the power of the main cannon and machine guns, would the Spartan morale hold? Their entire worldview is based on honor, strength, and a tangible battlefield. This isn't a battle. It's a slaughter by an unseen force. It's entirely possible that even the legendary Spartan discipline would break when faced with such incomprehensible destruction. So, the verdict? In an open field or even in the narrow pass of Thermopylae, a modern tank would almost certainly defeat the 300 Spartans. It's a sad but stark reality of technological advancement. The Spartans' courage and skill are legendary, but they are from a different world. It's a classic case of bringing a spear to a cannon fight. The gap in technology is simply too vast to be overcome by bravery alone. The tank's armor is impenetrable. Its firepower is devastatingly effective against massed infantry, and its mobility allows it to control the engagement entirely. The Spartans' only hope is a long-shot waiting game, relying on the tank running out of fuel and the crew making a mistake. It's a heroic thought, but in reality, the battle would likely be over in minutes. This scenario really highlights how warfare has evolved. It's no longer just about the strength and spirit of the warrior, but about the technology they wield. The 300 Spartans represent the peak of human physical combat in the ancient world, but the tank represents the peak of industrial and technological warfare. What do you guys think? Could the Spartans find a clever way to win that I haven't thought of? Let me know your theories down in the comments. I love reading your ideas on these hypothetical battles. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this trip through time, make sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the wild world of what-ifs. Until next time, stay curious.